Hello everyone, welcome to CyberScoop TV. Greg Otto, your managing editor here. We're coming to you from the 2017 Black Hat Conference. And I'm talking with Jeff Hudson, the CEO of Venafi. Jeff, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So your company does a lot with the Internet of Things, and we were talking a little bit off camera before about the need to protect the machines that we are all relying on now as the Internet of Things grows. Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing with the trends on protecting those machines and what organizations can do to help those efforts.
So the first thing to do is to understand that there are two actors on a network, people and machines, and we protect people and we give them identities called usernames and passwords. Machines don't use usernames and passwords, they use machine identities, keys and certificates and other things. We spend $8 billion a year protecting human identities, and we don't spend very much at all protecting machine identities. The biggest problem we run into is people haven't thought about this because we're anthrocentric, we think of things through our eyes,
right.
We think of people first. But what will happen is, and what Gartner says, is that 50% of all network attacks now are using stolen or forged machine identities. So it's a big problem.
So when you have things like the Mirai botnet and the destruction that that can cause, what can organizations do to adapt to that threat? Because as we see, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
You nailed it. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. One of the things that most organizations can't do is they can't say if this machine belongs or not in the network, if this piece of software belongs in the network, if this algorithm belongs in the network. They got a pretty good handle on what people are authorized to be on the network. So the bad guys can slip in malware and other things and it looks like it belongs. So from our perspective, one of the things that companies can do right off the bat is to be able to protect the machine identities and tell when somebody's using a stolen or forged one. And then they can detect bad code, bad machines, bad algorithms. So that's really important. And a lot of people still don't understand that. They're still trying to figure out how to stop all this stuff at the person. Right. Which is a losing battle, we know, right. Because we have lapses in judgment. Should
there be a default mechanism? Because I know a lot of the cameras that were involved in the Mirai attacks, the default password was manipulated a little bit. So do you think that companies should give their end users the ability to, change passwords and protect things once they've received a product, or what do you think about that?
So I believe in individual responsibility and control, and I also think in an organization that puts something into the market has a responsibility for not putting the same username and password on every darn device, because then if the user doesn't do anything about it, it's a problem. Even worse, companies that put this stuff out and put them in their networks a lot of times don't even have a programmable machine identity. They put a static machine identity out there. So the bad guy cracks one, he's got them all. So there's this real lack of understanding of machines and identifying machines, because the basic foundation of all security is being able to identify the actor. If I can identify you, I can protect you or I can guard against you. If I can identify a machine, I can protect or guard against it. And we're not even thinking about that part. And so, and it's going to explode. There's going to be 200 billion devices out there, and the world hasn't woken up to it yet. And it's really, I've been in high tech my whole life. I've been in security for a long time, and I cannot believe that people don't really understand this.
So, when, we've been talking about, the divide between the human and machine identities, how do we get to a point where we've balanced it out?
So humans work at the speed that we understand, the speed we're talking here. Machines work at a far different speed. So the speed is off the charts. It's governed by the speed of a light or the electrons, and the scale is massive. So you can go create 10,000 Docker containers today, which are machines, little machines, with inside of 2 or 3 minutes. Hire 10,000 people into a corporation, how long does that take?
So longer than 2 to 3 minutes.
Exactly, so the systems that we have and the way we think about them are all organized around humans. So we got to automate the heck out of this process. The intelligent understanding, the discovery, the scanning, all that stuff, so we know what's out there, and then the ability to replace it or create it anew instantaneously. And that's the only way we're going to keep up, because this is what the bad guys are doing. They're working at machine speed. A lot of corporations are saying, well, I got to hire 20 more people to deal with my public cloud now. It's not going to work. Don't keep up.
Right. Jeff, appreciate your insight. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you. Good talking.
For all of our videos, check out our YouTube channel. And for more on Black Hat and all things cybersecurity, check out cyberscoop.com. I'm Greg Otto. Thanks for watching.